Joy and pain connect us all. We are one. I am you and you are me. All is one. We want to believe unity is true. Listen inside your heart. It's there for you. It's saying joy and pain connect us all. We are one. I am you and you are me. All is one. Truth lies within your pain. Why not just say, I'm open all the way. I'm whole today. I'm saying joy and pain connect us all. We are one. I am you and you are me. All is one. I know you long to find freedom within. You know your walls were high to keep the pain from coming in. Yet your walls are wearing thin. Life is calling you again. It's saying joy and pain connect us all. We are one. I am you and you are me. All is one. In stillness the voice within is calling you. Embrace your heart of truth. Expand your view. We're saying joy and pain connect us all. We are one. I am you and you are me. All is one. Joy and pain connect us all. We are one. I am you and you are me. All is one. All is one. All is one. All is one. Yay! And you can get that song along with many others on this fabulous CD for only $15. I have been in theater since I was 11. So. Let's take a breath. I'm going to get a drink of water. Don't pay any attention to me. Just getting a little sip. Don't watch me. And we're back. So this idea of joy and pain existing simultaneously, it's taken me a long time. I'm 63, almost 64, and I finally in the last few years got clear that I can be experiencing many different things at the exact same moment. I can be experiencing joy and pain in exactly the same moment. They don't have to be separate or all or nothing. My experiences, my emotions, my feelings, my deepest connections with the planet all can exist at the same time. I can be really frustrated and really in love at the same exact moment. Has anybody else had that experience? Yes, your whole life, right? So, but we seem to try to separate out these different things. Does anybody in here not know the television show Call the Midwife? Okay, so Call the Midwife is a show that's set in the late 1950s and then through the 60s into the right now we're in 1969 in England, in the poorer parts of England where they had great medical care with midwives that worked underneath the church, but they were midwives. They'd been midwives for centuries and trained, and they work with all the people, but they really care for their people in their community, not just as midwives, but as health care from birth to death in their small community, in their small little East End part of England. And it shows the process of getting national health care in England and helping all the tenements get torn down that were built in the Victorian age that people were living in, and then new buildings being put up, modern technology. Right now they just had the moonwalk. The moonwalk was they're in season 13. Well, I've been watching this show for a long time. I love this show because it's a perfect expression of joy and pain. There's lots of joy and there's lots of pain. There's all kinds of life experiences that they explore in this show. It's beautiful. It's a beautiful show. We love to watch these dramas on a screen that other people are going through, and then we turn that off and we go back to our life thinking we're not having those same experiences. We're having the same ones. We may not be cartel people or, running away from spies or any of that, but everyday life we experience all the time. We have joy and pain at exactly the same time. And we love it when it's over there, but we don't love it so much when it's right here. We just want the joy part, right? We just want the joy part. I don't think we get one without the other. I think that they're interwoven, that we wouldn't feel the great joys that we feel if we had not also experienced the pain, the heartache, the sorrow. I just learned this morning that you lost a vital member of your community. That's hard. That's really hard. And you get to be joyful because you experienced this person for decades of experience, this beautiful life. We lost my bonus dad when he was 92. I lost my husband's mom when she was 79 and his grandmother at 102 and a half. And I lived with them at the end. Joy and pain every single day. My 16-year-old dog starting to slow down. Her clock is unwinding. Her back legs are giving out. We've got this beautiful hard floor in our house. She can't walk on it. She's like, her legs are just sliding out from under her. So now I have area rugs all over the house where she walks. And where does she walk? The only places I don't have the area rugs. Joy and pain. Come on, man, I'm trying to help you. I'm trying to help you. And you keep getting on the slippery ice. We call it hot lava. Don't walk on the hot lava. So now she comes up to the edge of where there's one carpet and then there's like a little space of floor and then another carpet and she jumps over it. She kind of goes, and she's trying to jump over the hot lava. I don't know if you ever played hot lava as a kid. I met a friend of mine in St. Louis years ago who'd never played hot lava. I'm like, come on. You can't touch the floor because it's hot lava. You got to try to get around your house on the counters and on the sofa and don't touch the floor. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Climbing on the kitchen cabinets, using the refrigerator handle. Oh, yeah. Everything you can. Yeah, people are nodding. They're like, yes, I play. So, yeah, if you never played hot lava, that's hot lava. Back to the point. So we have these experiences, and I've been thinking recently about what I call my brain resources. I only seem to have so many brain resources. Our brains are amazing. They're incredible, elastic, available pieces of information. We can dive in, but as we get older, there's a lot of stuff in there. And we can't get rid of it like we can on a computer. We can't dump our hard drive and get rid of all that stuff. It's going to be there forever. So we try to think of something. It takes a while. And you can see like accessing. We're going through our inner little Rolodex and our file cabinets trying to find that information. My mom and her friends a while back used to look at their watch and go, I wonder how long it's going to take to rise up. We'll see. Oh, that one was only 10 minutes. That's awesome. Sometimes it's a couple of days. Well, I do that now. What's that thing? I know what it is. It's right there. So I have brain resources. How do I want to budget them? How do I want to budget these brain resources so that I experience more joy and less pain? Still going to have pain. Pain's going to be there. But how can I experience a little more of one and a little less of the other in my life? I think there's a balance that we can find between joy and pain, or any other experiences that you can think of that feel like diametrical opposites. So if we want to stay in balance, first, I want to stay in balance, I bring myself into a brain focus. My heart is already there. My heart already feels balanced. My heart is connected with spirit all the time. It's there. It can feel those things and go, yeah, it's okay. We're not going to die. My brain might think we're going to die if we're feeling pain. Ah, it's going to be terrible. Our brain freaks out. But our heart can stay calm, even in the midst of a really stressful situation. We can sink in. But the brain wants to go crazy, trying to figure out solutions and answers and meanings. The brain is where we conceptualize joy and pain. We feel them in our body, but our brain is what conceptualizes them and makes one better than the other, has this idea that one is better than the other. So if my brain is trying to conceptualize these ideas, and we may feel it in our heart, in our stomach. I feel it when I've got a flush, like if something's coming at me and I get nervous or I get stressed out or I feel wrong or shame, I feel a flush. Does anybody else have that experience? My whole face gets redder. It's already red, but it gets redder, and I get extra hot. And then I know that I'm experiencing a deeply held child emotion. I'm experiencing something from childhood. And I don't want that to override what I'm trying to do in this moment. So I might be feeling it here, but my brain is going to be the one that's working with it to move me forward. So where can my brain resources be drained or filled? I can choose. I'm going to have things that drain my resources or fill my resources. Things that drain my brain resources are things like worry, trying to manage my behavior or manage somebody else's behavior. Oh, I'm really good at that. Trying to tactfully manage somebody else's behavior. Well, you might want to try this. You might do it that way. I've been very guilty of that for a lot of my life. Micromanaging my husband and my friends, thinking I'm being helpful, giving advice. So trying to manage my own behavior. The thing that prompted that idea was, in the middle of the night I woke up and I went, how much brain power does it take every day for me to not give helpful advice out in the world? How much brain power am I using to clamp down on my impulse to offer helpful advice when I haven't been asked? If I've been asked, that's one thing. I'm happily giving advice. But I used to tell people what kind of bread to buy in the store. I mean, that's how bad it was. No, you don't want that bread. That's got no protein. That's got no fiber. Yeah, I've done that. I'm guilty of that. And it goes on from there. So how much energy does it take for me in my brain to clamp down on that? How much energy when I'm really mad at somebody, usually my husband, when I'm really mad about something, how much energy does it take for me to not say the things I don't want to say to him because I love him? Which I wasn't really good at when I was younger, in my first marriage especially. That was who's going to win and who's right. This marriage is not that way, but I did drag some of that old idea with me. So it took a while with this husband. We've been married 23 years. We've known each other 31. To recognize he's not that other person, and neither am I. So when I want to say something that's sarcastic, snarky, shame or blame inducing, because I'm having a reaction, do I want to do that with this person that I love, that I really love? How do I want them to feel when they're around me? Safe or unsafe? But it takes energy, it takes brain power for me to clamp down on that old impulse to call them a butthead, or stronger language than that, to be really frustrated, to give up. So how much am I draining my brain resources with worry and managing behavior and shame and blame and all those other types of behaviors? I still do it, and I catch myself more quickly these days. I'm paying attention. And so I do this thing where I say, wait, stop. That's not what I meant to say. What I meant to say was, I really love you, and blah, blah, blah. I'd really appreciate it if, da, 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 da. Wait, hold on a minute. Let me take that back. Let me take that back. That's not what I meant to say. So I catch myself quicker. It doesn't mean I don't slip often, but I'm catching myself. That's not what I meant to say. That's not how I want to be with you. Here's how I want to be with you. And I find myself doing that with strangers a lot more as well. And part of that is because we live in this beautiful small town place. And everybody I see, I'm going to see them again somewhere. I mean, really, everybody I meet in the grocery store, on the highway, I'm going to see them again somewhere. Who do I want to be? How do I want to be with them? How do I want to be remembered? I'm not going to talk smack about somebody I just met about somebody else because it's probably their cousin or their boyfriend. I'm not going to do it because, again, I don't know who they are, what their connections are, because everybody here is connected, which I love. We're a very purple place. We rely on each other. I mean, there's, what, 2 septic companies? If you need a septic company, you don't want to piss off both of them or you're in trouble. So how can we come together and express our humanity with each other in this small place? Because we rely on each other. We need each other. We need the people to fix our cars and bag our groceries. We need those people. We need us. So what's going to fill my brain resources? For me, nature, for sure. I mean, that's everybody, right? That's why we live here, because we walk outside and we can just breathe. I said, I think people are nicer here because there's more oxygen because of all the trees. That's my theory. I don't know if it's true, but I feel it. So for me, nature fills me up, fills my resources. Home beauty. Having a home that feels beautiful, that feels comfortable and spacious and not too cluttered. Some people love clutter, and that's whatever feels right for you, that's okay. I have a friend who's got tchotchkes everywhere, but she loves that. And they're beautifully displayed. They're not just randomly thrown on a table. They're beautifully displayed. So home beauty, a place where you can go and relax from the day and feel some beauty in that space. And if you don't have that or it's not available to you, find a corner. Make an altar, something that your eye can rest on that feels beautiful for you. And here, luckily, we can just pretty much walk outside and find some beauty. The other thing that fills my brain resources are what I call routines of self-care. Not self-care like I'm going to go to the spa and get a massage. That's a rare thing. But my routines of self-care, my meditation, my washing my face, my brushing my teeth, my eating good food, the things that show myself that I'm caring for myself. These simple little routines, brushing my teeth, going to bed at a reasonable time, even though my brain says, no, I want to stay up, I'm going to miss something. It'll be there now. We can watch anything anytime we want. I can't miss anything. So go to sleep, brain. It's time to go to sleep. And connections with others. I'm a person, probably all of you are as well. We need connections with other people. Some of us don't need a lot of people. Maybe 2 or 3 is enough. Maybe 1 is good. But having those connections, and that when we go out in this world, especially in this small town, that we look at the people that we encounter. We look them in the eye, and we say, hi, thank you for bagging my groceries today. Hi, thank you for doing it. Have a great day. Hi, thank you. I see you. How many of us don't get seen every day? So can we see each other, whoever we are, connect with each other, even if we never see that person again? But again, we live here, we will. My mom and I were shopping when we first moved here, and we went to like 3 different stores, and we kept seeing the same family everywhere we went. So by the 3rd store, we're like, well, we're related now. We're all best friends now. Because we all kept seeing each other, and we just laughed about that. We thought that was hilarious. We were clearly all doing our chores on the same day. So can we fill up our brain when it gets depleted? Can we notice those things that deplete that resource of, I don't want to say good behavior, but behavior that we prefer to be and the way we prefer to be in the world when we connect with each other, the way we respond to each other instead of react. I love the definition, the difference between those two things. React is coming from my limbic old reptilian brain. Fight, flight, flee, or fate. And then response able. Am I able to respond? Response is I've taken a breath and I've chosen who do I want to be in this moment? How do I want to express to this person, this human being, or this animal when I get frustrated with my dog? Because I'm sad. So I'm sad and I don't want to feel sad, so I go to frustration. Isn't that interesting? How we take one thing and we don't want to feel that, so we change it into anger or frustration or shame because I don't want to feel this other thing. I don't want to feel grief, so I'm going to pick on this person because they're not doing the job right of mourning because I don't want to feel grief. Take a breath. So can I always choose joy? Can I always choose the thing that is brain-filling versus brain-draining? No, I cannot. We are human. We make mistakes. We can't always choose what we want in that exact moment. So where can I choose a life-giving response? If I don't, I'm not going to beat myself up. I'm going to do what I can to make amends. Wait, that's not what I meant to say. Let me say that differently. Sometimes I catch it quick. Sometimes I got to go back 3 days later and go, I was a real jerk that day. I'm sorry about that. Let's talk about it. Where can I choose life-giving? My husband and I went on a couple of days away last weekend, and it was great. And Sunday morning, we were at this kind of like a little resort space, and they had a kitchen, a community kitchen. And I said, let's just go out for breakfast on Sunday. And he said, no, I want to make us breakfast. I'm like, oh, okay, if you want to go to get the stuff and go to the store, because we packed a lot of food, but not breakfast food. So he went down to the store, Fred Meyer's, and got stuff to make an omelet, brought it back, made the omelet. It was great. Everything was wonderful. And then we're walking back to our space, and somehow or another, his wallet was not showing up where it should show up. His wallet was missing. This happens a lot in my family, in my house. My husband doesn't have a place where he always puts stuff. It's either there or somewhere else. And I am the finder in my home. There was a woman that I read about that every time her kids were asking, where's the such and such, and she'd find it, she'd say $5. $5. So now every time I find something in the house for my husband or my mom, $5. I've never been paid yet, but it's, I like it. Give me $5. So I'm saying, okay, his wallet, oh God, because this is not the first time this has happened. Okay, his wallet's gone, we're away, and not only his wallet is gone, but my ID is in his wallet, because when we checked into the resort, they needed my ID to get me official, and I went off and did some other stuff, and he hadn't given it back to me yet. So his driver's license is gone, my driver's license is gone. I'm like, well, when we drive home tomorrow, we better drive carefully. Because we don't have any ID, and we canceled. We locked our credit card. I found out you can lock your card, not cancel it, so that when it shows up 10 minutes later, you don't have to get a new gosh darn card. You can just lock it, and then you can unlock it when you find your card. So that was good. We learned something new. So I'm breathing a lot, and we're looking. We looked at every square inch of the car, literally the seats going forward and backwards, on the ground, underneath, everywhere we could look. It's not there. He had already called the store. I lost my wallet. Did anybody turn in a wallet for Will Johnson? No, they did not. So a while later, we're sitting around by the pool, breathing. And I said, did you leave him your phone number? And he said, no, I didn't. I said, I think you should call them back and give them your phone number. And because every time I read the Sunday paper, in the rants and raves section of our Sunday paper, somebody says, I lost my wallet. Thank you to the person that returned my wallet at Walmart when I lost it in the parking lot. Thank you to the person who returned my wallet when I lost it at Costco. Thank you to the person who returned my wallet in the Safeway parking lot. People just return wallets. What kind of place are we living in? And I said, maybe it fell out in the parking lot, and maybe somebody turned it in, and they hadn't turned it in yet when you called. Why don't you call them back? Before all of that, before my calm moment of why don't you call him back, I wanted to rail him up one side and down the other. Because when we went to Victoria last month, he lost his passport. So in my mind, I'm adding up, I'm totaling up the problems, right? The deficits, the things I should be upset about. And then my brain said, nope, we're not doing that this time. We're not doing that this time. We're going to do something else. We're going to go to love and patience and faith. Somehow, nothing's ever lost in the universe. It's all going to work out. I don't know how. Even if it's gone, we're going to get home safely. It's all going to be fine, right? It's not the biggest catastrophe that could ever happen. So he calls Fred Myers again, leaves his name, and somehow my name comes up, my wife Asha, and I said, yeah, but my license says Trisha. I kind of say this while he's talking to them on the phone. And they said, well, we have a wallet for Trisha. Trisha's my given name, Trisha's my legal name, Asha's my name that I took. So in my license, it says Trisha Burson-Johnson. So he asked for Will Johnson. Somehow they didn't put that together with the Johnson in my name. My wallet was in the front. When they first opened the wallet, somebody had found it in the shopping cart. They have little slots in the Fred Myers shopping carts where you can put your car keys or your wallet. So handy. But he put it in there and then just walked away because it became invisible. He said he literally took a picture of the shopping cart when he got back there and got the wallet and put it in the shopping cart so he could show me. He took a picture of the wallet in the shopping cart. You could not see it. But some lady was going out to her car. Oh, somebody left a wallet. I better turn it in. It had cash money in there, like a lot. It was all there. Because thank you to the person that returned our wallet in the Fred Myers parking lot. If I hadn't had flipped my switch, if I hadn't have said, not now, we're going to do something different right now, to myself, I don't think we would have gotten that wallet back. But we went into curiosity instead of blame. Curiosity of what might happen, or what might be possible, or what's another way that we could try. Call them and leave your phone number. And the wallet was returned, completely intact. And we then were unlocked our credit card, which is great. So joy and pain can exist in the same moment. And if I'm feeling the pain and I'm trying to react from that, it's not going to have the outcome that I prefer. If I can feel the pain and remember the joy, remember the love, remember who am I? I am as I am. I am the presence of the one. I am the presence of love. I am the presence of compassion. Then we can move forward. Otherwise, we're just trapped in regret and shame and upset, and not the expression that we want to be in the world. Does that make sense? So take a breath. Think about do I drain my brain resources? Where do I fill them up? Just think about that for yourself. It might be something to take with you into the week and just start paying attention. Doesn't mean you have to change your entire way of being, but maybe just start paying attention. Where do I react and where do I respond? I love respond sounds, react is like, huh. Response is spacious. It's got room for something else. Something unexpected, something new. React is all old. React is all old stuff. Response is something new. Thank you. So that's the talk portion. Now we have, thank you. So we have a question and answer period now, or comment period. So thoughts. What sparked in you an idea? What did you go, well, I don't believe that. You're allowed to contradict me. Where are you with what we just talked about?
Well, I'll start. When I lose something, I find that if I go, oh God, I'm never going to find this, I don't. But if I put the energy out there that I love that thing and it's going to come back to me in the perfect order, it always does. Yeah, I think it's all energy out there. So wonderful talk. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Other comments? Clancy? Do you all know Clancy, Asha's
Clancy's
mother?
my mom. Also Reverend.
Acronyms come to me. And, and joy is just ordinary yes. And pain is putting attention in nothing.
She's writing a book of acronyms, by the way.
I
She's
love
got a beautiful
it.
book of affirmations, daily affirmations, but she's compiling acronyms because she is the acronym queen. The acronym queen. Any other thoughts?
Yeah, I just love the idea of when you choose the love portion that it is spacious.
Yeah.
That really just touched me. I like that.
Way in the back.
Way back in the corner there with Star.
Meet in the middle.
Asha, thanks for being here. You always just have the most practical advice. And I realize, and I think we've talked about this together before, of how much of the same situation we are, our husbands in our lives. And you're not wasting your time by giving your beautiful advice.
Thank
Yeah.
you. It's mostly for me.
I know.
You just happen to be the recipients of hearing it out loud.
All right. Anybody else?
I echo that, what Star said about you always give such practical advice, and I have often used your advice about being curious and being spacious. And I love joy, and I know,
Yeah, you are joy.
but it does come with that contrast. And I think that's important for people to know that when those moments come when it feels like it's way on the other side, that is just preparing me to have greater ability to see the difference. You know, it's like we had that's, and we have.
Yeah, we got some crackles going on. There you go.
Oh. Yeah, when that sun comes out, we are just so filled with the joy of it. But we know that the is actually what we need here too.
Yeah,
So it's that balance. Thank you for bringing that to us. Thank you.
It's a joy and pain, it's sun and rain. We need both. We need both. It's definitely a balance. Yeah. You do. I know you do.
I always hear that, what you said this morning about, can't have one without the other. And, inside of me, I've always felt, I don't know that I agree with that, or something inside me goes, no, there's something else. And just now when I was thinking about it, it's not that you can't have one without the other, that they're, you have to have pain in order to have joy. I don't know that that's true. I don't know that it isn't true, but, what I do know that is in the middle of pain, when I'm suffering, and as I move through that and find the truth of what that suffering is, there's joy. in that. So in a sense, there can be joy within suffering, especially when truth is found and held. So can't have one without the other. I don't know that I necessarily agree with that, but I know that joy can be present in the truth within pain. And maybe pain can be present in the truth of joy as well, you know? So I just thought I'd throw out that.
Yeah, I love that, because there is that differentiation between pain and suffering. We are going to experience pain. As human beings, you know, I stub my toe, pain. I've got jiggly legs from Parkinson's. It's not really pain, but it's a feeling that I can't do anything about. It just is. Whether I suffer with that is the whole crux of the brain part. Because the brain is the part that creates it as suffering versus just pain. It's just pain that we all have as a human being. Suffering is when we're attaching meaning to the pain. When our brain is conceptualizing the pain as meaning something about our bodies, about ourselves, about our beingness. Because the divine is everything, right? It's not just all the good squishy feelings, it's everything, which includes pain and suffering and darkness and everything. So it's our brains that want to make one thing better than the other, or right or wrong, good or bad. I like Ernest Holmes when he talks about having preferred and non-preferred experiences. I love that expression, because it's easier for me to say I'm having a non-preferred experience than, you know, I'm having, pardon me, a shitty day. I'm having a non-preferred experience right now. It's a lot easier for me to take a step back and breathe and decide how I want to respond when I recognize this is a non-preferred experience as opposed to a bad one. I'm having the worst day ever. No, that's not true. That's not true. We've had a lot of crappy days, but is it the worst day ever? I don't know, because I'm not gone yet. I haven't had all my days yet. But I'm having a non-preferred experience today. That gives me space, gives me that spaciousness, that ability to choose instead of just react. And when I want to react, I find safe ways to do that, so I try not to hurt myself or somebody else. I mumble under my breath a lot. Nobody else can hear it. And then I can go, yeah, I get all that, brain, but how do I want to respond right now? I get all that frustration. Let's take a little brief meditation. So close your eyes, if you choose. Just sink in to that place, wherever for you is the place in the center of your being. Maybe it's in your chest. Maybe it's in your solar plexus. Maybe it's in your brain. The place where you feel spacious and safe and enough and loved. And some days that space may feel small and squeezed by life. And some days it feels wide and big and open and spacious. But it's always there, just waiting for us to go back, remember, bring together that which has come apart, which often is us. I am remembering who I am. I can't remember which artist it is. I am remembering who I am. 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 I am remembering. I Connect with the part that is remembering who you are. That is knitting back together that which has been pulled apart. Take a deep breath. Let it go. Take a deep breath. Let it go. And one more. And let it go. And come back into the room. Beautiful. Thank you.